Did you know that between a credit card and a debit card, there's actually quite a few differences, and there are some things that are different between them that you're going to want to know so that you make sure that you're using the right card for you and for what's going to be best in your particular situation. Let's talk about that. So when it comes to the difference between credit cards and debit cards, one of the problems that so many people run into is really the fact that credit cards can get you in trouble because you can have access to credit that you actually don't have that money in the bank. So let's say that you have a credit limit of $5,000, which is very doable on a credit card, and you don't actually have $5,000 in your bank account. Well, guess what? Technically, you're able to then take that credit card and go out and spend $5,000. And that can really be something that can get you in trouble if you're not careful and you're not using your money wisely. Next up, when it comes to credit cards, it can help build your credit. If you get the right credit card, it will actually report to the 3 credit bureau agencies, which will then allow your credit score to incrementally go higher and higher as you follow the advice that we have on this channel of being smart with your finances and paying those credit cards off every single month in full. Unfortunately, if you do not pay your balance off in full every single month, you are most likely going to be charged interest. Why do I say most likely? There are some credit cards that have a 0% interest APR for a certain amount of time. However, that time is not forever, so make sure that you're paying that balance off. And next up, when it comes to a credit card, it is something that you're gonna have a limited liability when it comes to fraudulent charges. What this means is if you find a fraudulent charge, someone actually had taken your credit card information, who knows how they got it, but they got it, and they bought several $100s worth of stuff. You can contact your credit card company and say, hey, I didn't do this. This is a fraudulent charge. Please take that off my account. And then oftentimes they're able to do that very quickly, and you'll be most likely sent a new card so that that doesn't happen again from the same person. Those are just a few specifics when it comes to the credit card. Now, next up, we're gonna talk about a debit card and the differences that you'll find with a debit card as compared to the credit card. First thing is with a debit card, that money is being deducted from your checking account. So if you went to the store and you bought something and you didn't have enough money to pay for that, guess what? You are gonna be paying an overdraft fee on your account, or you just got declined for that purchase. And so that can be something that can really keep you accountable if you're having a really hard time, if your finances are stretched and you're not able to really pay for things. Buying things on a debit card can actually save you in the long run. It does not allow you to buy more than you have in your checking account. Second is most debit cards are not going to help you build credit. There are some debit cards out there nowadays that help you build credit, but those are unique and they're not the norm. Number 3 is there are no interest charges when it comes to debit cards. And why is that? Because you're using your own money. You're not borrowing money from a credit card company and then not paying them back right away. You're just taking money out of your checking account, which is your money, so you don't have to pay an interest payment on your own money. So when it comes to debit cards, they don't have as much protection when it comes to fraudulent charges. Oftentimes when those fraudulent charges come up, it's actually something that, depending on when you catch it, it could actually be too late. You may not actually be able to get that money back, because the difference is with a credit card company, they're lending you credit and they're able to go through a different process than your checking account, your bank would actually be able to go through in order to get back that money. See, for a debit card, when they take that money from you, they just stole it straight out of your bank account. And it's just a lot harder to be able to get that money back than it would be necessarily from a credit card fraudulent charge. So the question is, what is gonna be right for you? Is it the debit card that's the best fit for you, or is it the credit card that's the best fit for you? Well, really, you have to ask yourself where in your life you're at right now. I know for myself, I got to a point where I had multiple credit cards. I actually started racking up debt on those credit cards, and I didn't pay off those balances. So I got to a point where on all of my credit cards, there was such a high balance that I wasn't even able to pay the minimum balance, and it still makes sense because almost all my paycheck was going towards that. Long story short, I decided to stop paying the minimum balance, and lo and behold, I went bankrupt. That is a very bad situation. That's the opposite of what you want to do. Nowadays, I've had a change of heart. I use credit cards wisely. I get cash back for them, and I never buy anything that I do not already have in my budget and I'm prepared to pay off in full in that statement period. So you have to ask yourself that question. Are you able to have that kind of self-control? Are you like the old Zach who would buy things that he didn't have money for and rack up debt and get into a very bad situation? If you're like old me, don't do it. Don't get credit cards. But if you're like new me, then do get credit cards. Get as many as you can. Get the highest credit limit you can and get that cash back, because it's an amazing benefit of buying things that you're already gonna buy. So if you made the decision that credit cards are the right fit for you, then I would suggest checking out this video here where I talk about how you can get 5% cash back in rotating categories. This has been Zach helping you with your finances, and I'll see you over here.